Yeah, and when you do fail in marriage, your kid is Ted Bundy or something. Okay, those are pretty common. Or Hitler. Okay?
When someone's marriage fails, they were trying to do something good and build something in society that matters. If you fail at doing OnlyFans, you failed at doing something stupid and evil.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build a marriage
and disgusting.
Hold on, if you try to build a marriage for society, you suck at relationships, and you shouldn't even be trying to have kids. Because what a horrible way to contribute children to the world by saying, I'm making a better world. You should do it because you love the person, because you want to have a child, and because you have love for that child.
Yeah.
Not because you want to build a different world.
Here's why.
Oh, yeah.
I agree that you should have children because you love the person and because you want to bring children into the world with that person. However, from the biblical perspective,
which I'm not a religious man.
Yeah.
I know you're not, but the counterpoint that I want to make is Psalm chapter 127 verse 4 says that the children of a man's youth, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, all the way into his 30s, the children of a man's youth are like arrows in the hands of a warrior, okay? From our perspective,
The Psalms or Proverbs?
Psalms chapter 127 verse 4. From my perspective, and I assume theirs as well, we are in a spiritual war, and it is a war. Yes,
Going to hell,
Jesus
you
is
motherfucker.
correct. Jesus is correct.
And
he is
look
the
at
king
our
that
enemies.
leads people. He is the king that leads people to either.
Wait,
have
I'm
it-
curious. If there was like an Islamic person that was talking to you, trying to like convince you about like Islamic beliefs, would you like be open to that, or would you feel like, why are you talking
I have
to me?
conversations.
I'm Christian. Like
I have
I'm Christian,
conversations
right?
with Muslims
You're
all the
Christian.
time. Some of the best people I know are
No,
Muslims.
True.
I'm not.
Also,
I'm
hold on.
not.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm
She
not.
said,
I'm not from
wait. She said, look at our enemies. Wait, no. She made
Everybody, hold on.
Brian, intervene. Who has the right to talk here?
The point is
person
that
at a time,
there is a good motivation for having children in terms of the societal
Yeah, to
benefits,
populate the
in
world
the
with more
sense that you
Christians.
can send more virtuous and godly
I
people out
gotcha.
into society.
You made the
Spread the
joke.
word.
Look who our enemies are. You realize we are destroying you in every single facet of the culture war and at world domination, right? The conservatives have no place in media. Conservatives have no place in the art. Conservatives have no place in most major governments around the world. America
I
has
was
the
just
most
talking
right.
about you.
What?
I was just talking about you.
Okay, that's fine. Well,
I just
the
think you
movement
look
that I
silly.
represent is absolutely annihilating your movement. It's not even close.
Which
that's
is
why
why
you guys
we
are on
need to have more
podcasts
kids.
crying about trans people going into
This is
bathrooms.
why we need to
okay?
have
We're
more
gonna-
kids and send them out
when
into the
yeah,
culture like
I
arrows in
understand.
the hands
I'm
of a
just
warrior.
saying that instead of making fun of the blue hair, you should revere it and respect it and fear it, okay? I am the man kicking you into the well saying this is Sparta.
Not
okay?
when I have 10
Sparta
kids.
is ran by
Not when I
trans
have 10
kids,
kids.
dropping grenades on Russian soldiers, okay?
How many kids
Be
are you
aware
guys
of it,
gonna
okay?
have?
Cope,
I'm gonna
cope.
outbreed
We're going to have
How many
100
kids?
kids,
No, you're not.
okay?
We're gonna
And
cope
for
with
Polly,
it.
I'm going to
Yes.
get 20 women. I'm going to have 200 fucking
You
kids.
shouldn't
You-
be allowed to
If you have
channels,
200,
We're gonna spread our
201, okay?
We're gonna spread our genes all over the world, okay?
You won't.
You're
disgusting.
Yeah, it's our army.
Ryan,
here,
do you
okay?
wanna
The
take
blue
back
haired
control
army.
of the
You
show?
are. We are.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
No chance.
It's coming. You better watch it.
No
You
chance.
better watch it. It's coming.
Proximity.
Is the father
Yo,
figure of
Brian-
whatever
Brian
podcast
is
coming
risen
back?
from the dead.
He's
Are you
coming.
good,
He's
bro?
coming.
Did Brian go to get milk and cigarettes?
Yes.
How we do it? How we do it?
Come back. Come back, Brian.
Degenerates
We
like
need
you
you.
belong
Give us
on
the
a
update.
cross.
How we do
We
it?
need you.
Ladies
So you
with
are.
big
So
labia,
you are.
my
I'll just
DMs
say
are
this.
open.
So Destiny,
What?
you guys,
How-
they're
are
they're
you okay?
leading. They're leading the charge,
good,
but
I'm
it's
good.
not a good charge.
What?
I would say you guys.
Yeah, you look
definitely-
at the state of the world and you're like
yeah,
bragging
yeah.
about your
You guys
coalition
are
ushering
leading
that
the
in.
charge.
The state of the world, but your markers of like the world is bad is at like 22%
Yeah,
of
but
Gen
liberal-
Z are bisexual.
liberal-
Yes,
Like,
like, literally, yes.
I know.
They're
you're
going
saying
to
that-
hell.
Oh, wait,
They're
wait,
going
No,
to hell.
no, no,
There
no.
was
Right.
something.
The-
There was something I wanted to say earlier that you guys are like talking about, like, oh, it's bad that there's less people having children, et cetera, et cetera. But like, part of me is not completely bought into that argument because I'm thinking about how sometimes it's better to have less children and develop them more virtuously than have multiple children or a lot of children and then have them live in poverty or not be able to develop that. So
It's a
I
fair
don't think,
point.
in developing
But not
nations, a
mutually
lower
exclusive.
birth
That is
rate
true.
Yeah.
is necessarily
But people
bad.
who tend to have
Yeah,
that
but, like,
psychology tend to
when-
want to
when
neglect
you're-
their kids.
Yo,
anyway.
One mic at a time. One mic at a time,
You're
guys,
saying
please.
a lower birth rate isn't necessarily bad, but you're conflating the two. It's not necessarily bad to have less children if it means that you're going to care for them better, but I would say that it's good if you can have more children and you can provide for them and raise them effectively. I would say that that's a good thing.
Yeah, and
I would
what-
not say that it's not a bad thing if you're below replacement levels. I would say that's
Yeah.
a pretty bad thing.
Yeah, I think the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it seemed like earlier we were talking about like developing nations, like they're having like less. Oh, sorry, developed the
Destiny,
nations. They're
please
having less
play the
children.
game. Play it.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. They're having less children. Like that's cultural decline. Like it doesn't really seem that's necessarily the case, especially if it's just people focusing on putting the resources that they now have more onto those two children. Or
Yeah,
three
and when I
children.
see people like you, I agree the birth rate should be lower.
What?
But
How could you betray us
What?
like this?
what?
What do you mean? No, I'm saying.
You're
Fired
saying
from
people.
PetSmart.
You're
Why
saying,
do you keep making?
I'm
you're
saying
saying people
no.
like her should be reproducing less. Yes,
They
I
need
agree.
to
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sorry.
They need to
You don't
have
even need to
many
convince them, it's
children,
okay.
and then they
You
won't
don't
be able to
deserve the flower
father
in
the
your
children.
hair, okay?
I do.
They're way too
I
big,
do.
so then the
I
sons
do.
will turn to the internet.
I
and they
do.
will
Do you
find
want it
people like
then?
us.
Yes,
we will.
Based, let's
We
go.
will radicalize
We will
them.
be the surrogate fathers.
Yes.
Oh, you putting it on
Okay,
me?
okay, no.
Okay.
My beautiful wife.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Steve.
We have a
feel
couple
sick.
super chats.
Let's get through the
Sigma.
super chats.
Let's get
get into these super chats.
Okay.
I've got to listen to the people.
Allegedly, I don't know if this is actually
Allegedly.
Sneeko.
Nico.
Great
If she's
point
down
a
to
moment
see other
ago.
men, tell her Hill's at me.
Not
Sneeko?
Sneeko.
Right.
What do you have to say to Sneeko?
What? Oh,
Is it him?
I mean, I called him a cuck
It's
2
hard to
weeks
say.
ago. I still believe that too.
Full blown apology now because he's not a cuck.
Well, you can dick ride him all you want,
listen,
but I think he's a cuck.
Listen here, girl with autism. He doesn't fucking have. He's not a cuck. I'm actually friends with him. He's not a cuck at all. And so are you. And so are you. He's not actively cucking.
Thank you.
Well,
Is
no,
he?
he's not.
All right.
No, he's not.
Thank you so much.
Let's
Yeah.
stop speculating on
I'm
the
a cuck, though.
cuck or not
Are you?
cuckness
Yes.
of
No, stop.
Sneeko, please.
Go read the donos. Get control of your
Rippy.
Okay,
podcast.
Sneeko,
Control your
if
own
you're
destiny.
Not a cuck, then
All right,
I
everybody.
apologize.
Rippy donated $100,
Yeah, Rippy's got
and
something to
he
say
said
here.
the idea that OnlyFans is a step up from before Destiny is crazy. Yes, there were awful scenarios in the past with pimps and stuff, but now it's basically to the point that anyone could do it. It's the Uber of the. Can you pull that back up, Brian?
Sorry, he's having an extra stream conversation right now.
He said it's the Uber of the sex work world. Just my opinion. What do you think about that?
If women are gonna do porn, I think it's better that they're in control of the income than not. There are women.
but
When I look at
if
like
OnlyFans didn't exist, they wouldn't even have the opportunity to do
why?
it.
There's
They would
tons
just
of
go
fucking
into
amateur
film porn.
videos.
Yep.
There's a ton of ways.
What
to
is
do
the
it.
Yeah, but
point?
they're not
Democratized
getting
now.
paid for it, and it's not like it's there's no
They
incentive
were just
for them
getting
to get
paid
into
really
it.
shittily for it. Like way
Yeah,
back,
but there's no incentive. That's a good
well,
thing.
but like even like 14, 15 years ago, there were sites that would give you like $1,000 if you submit like an amateur porn video to the site.
But what's the point of
Yeah.
perpetuating hedonism? Like, what's the point
Because
of
I
that?
love hedonism.
I know.
I'm a
clearly.
hedonist.
Yeah,
Destiny's
I
going to
know.
It
hell.
shows.
Repent
I
and
know,
accept
thank you.
In
Jesus
your
Christ.
face.
Stay. I'm glad. I don't know if there's a compliment or not, but okay.
You can be smug
It
all you
wasn't.
want
Hey,
about
Brian,
it, but
Brian, you want to keep rolling through these super chats? We should keep the show going.
Brian's
It's a big
having some
episode.
issues right now. Okay.
Are you good?
Been half out.
We should
Brian's
keep
a
the show
man of
going.
God. This unpure conversation is flustering him.
Dramore said, "What a scam! Spent 100. We should pull up
I bet
Dramore's comment."
Chase could probably scroll through
Hold on,
super chats.
hold
We
on.
gotta take care of
I
stuff.
got it. We did Rippies, right? Brock.
Brock said, "Her mouth is smoother than oil, her end is bitter as wormwood, and sharper than a two-edged sword. Remove thy way from her, Destiny. Blue Hair's girl is the embodiment. Be strong, my brother. Do not let her lead you into death."
Okay.
Wait, me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Leading him
I'm
to
gonna lead
death.
him to death. Okay,
Melina.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Straight
To
to
death.
death.
I will.
Farha, we haven't
Straight
read
to
it.
death.
Did we
To
do
death.
this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Farha
before.
said, for $100, thank you, Farha. Chase, the nuclear family was basically an anomaly in American history.
Anomaly?
False.
What a
That's
retard.
Totally false. And worked briefly.
Slurs.
It's worked for a long time, thousands of years. Although people can make the distinction that it's more the traditional family as opposed to the nuclear family, like people living in their little house in the suburbs. It's a good point there. But anyways, worked briefly because of a totally different economic and cultural landscape. Besides feminism and LGBTQ, what other factors do you think are destroying the nuclear family in the West?
Hoes like you.
I would also, I would add as far
Hi,
as...
man. You don't talk like
To-
that.
to- hey, guys,
Talk
guys,
like that.
guys,
Owen.
But you don't
guys.
say that.
you're
I can
worse
say
than
what I
me,
want.
bro.
You're telling her to chill, right?
I can say what I
Ooh,
want.
No,
you
you
got the
don't.
tism.
I
Don't
can.
say what you
I
want.
can.
Hey,
All right,
temptation,
hey, guys.
okay? Temptation. Be a better man.
Guys,
Be a better
No,
man.
I am not.
Don't say
I
man.
I am not. I am
Melina
me.
and MLD, please.
I am me.
Please, to
Listen to
continue,
Chase.
I want to continue getting
Ho.
through the super chats. MLD, please.
Go ahead. She's a hoe.
An important point to make. What other factors do you think are destroying the nuclear family in the West? Something I would add to that is the destruction of our money supply that began in 1971. If you look at the statistics from 1971 until now,
Bretton
all, yes, that as well. All metrics of the health of society have gone down since we began destroying our money and inflationary money printing. That's a big part of it. People have to work harder in order to provide for their families. You have to have dual parent incomes, whereas before in like the 1950s and 60s, you could afford to just like get a blue collar
I
job
don't know
and
about
provide
that.
for your family. It's true.
My brother has been broke for the majority of his life. He just started making money, and he was raising 3 kids
Damn.
with a single household earning, making $40,000 a
Holy
year.
shit.
All right,
You
we
just
have
destroyed you, Chase.
Mike Davis here.
No, that wasn't a destroying.
MLD,
It was.
this one's
That was
addressed to
Let's
you.
have MLD.
No, I like-
MLD,
no, I like
read,
Chase.
this
Read
one.
it.
Mike Davis says, MLD, you could bark all you want, but you You know you don't want this smoke. What, the smoke from the fry basket at Burger King?
Oh.
I'm a whole different animal. I knock out every veneer tooth by tooth. You got so much grease you won't need Vaseline. I'll take you and Destiny together and whoop y'all like your moms should
Shots fired.
have.
Jesus.
Whoa. Listen, you know what my response to that
savage
is?
roast.
I'd like a Junior Whopper with cheese and bacon and an orange soda. Make sure you bring that up here to the Whatever podcast.
You want to pull up the next one?
Can I have a crown?
Is that everything?
That's-
Dremore said he
that's-
spent $100. Dremore, did you get your
That's
super
cap
chat
because
answered?
I mean, if it was it a super chat or through Streamlabs?
Just send more money.
Because
Just send more money. Brian
probably-
loves money.
I don't know what you
sent it.
expected from this.
When are we getting Mike Davis on this podcast?
That's a
okay?
good question.
I've been trying.
I do
I've
want to
been
know,
trying.
Destiny, what is your body count?
200 plus.
I'm not gonna. Why? I don't.
Because
Answer
it's an
I
interesting
mean, you
question.
can just say that you
Please
don't want to
just
say.
do the.
Yeah, I don't think I want to share. Yeah.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Come on,
as
Destiny.
far as the guy
Come on,
who-
Destiny.
As
Show
far
the
as-
red pill guys
Dude,
what's up. Flex on
The
them.
problem is that like if I say a number that's too low, I get judged. If I say a number that's too high, people won't even believe me. So I don't even know what the point is.
Just go with
What
the,
is
But you
the
know
too
the number?
high. Go to the
People
too
and
high.
overcomplicating the
But I
question.
don't remember
Okay.
every fucking.
Approximately what?
We're not reading it if you're.
It's
How long?
it's like that.
Okay.
Sexual.
But like low.
Chase Matthew 18:6.
We're not
address
reading
the
these. We're not
mouse.
reading these. Just Eric.
It's a
Eric's
based,
been holding off.
based
on
Bible scripture right there.
What the hell?
Thank you, Sierra Stanton. I appreciate that.
As far as the guy who claims we didn't read the $100 super chat,
Haram.
we have auto super chat function set on, so we have not seen your.
You want to
your
read
super
the
chat.
JDoc one? That's an interesting. He says, JDoc says, greed is the source of all problems, not poverty. The framing that being a poor is the problem is asinine. It is an elitist argument.
Should I just like turn TTS on to 50 for the end of the stream?
Nah.
Fuck
nah.
these guys.
Fuck these people.
What's
We
up?
got so many people talking here already.
I think I saw a donation that was $100, 100 Canadian dollars somewhere, but it was purple. So then it's not.
You think because of the exchange rate, it
Yeah,
would have been like
the
$80?
exchange rate was-
The exchange.
Yeah,
pull-
but
pull it up.
Canadian
Let's see
money's
what it
not
is.
real.
I
Let's
don't
see what
think
it
we
is.
have it.
Canada's not
anymore.
If we're
real.
gonna say inflated American money isn't real, we can't accept CID here.
Yeah,
okay?
for
Come
real.
on. But we should find.
That's usually only the case for StreamYard, though. It won't trigger on StreamYard if it's below like the conversion or whatever. But on Super Chats, I'm pretty sure if it's red, it.
Well,
I don't
because
know.
of the exchange, I think $100 Canadian is like 70 or 80 or something American.
It was purple, so it wasn't 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to pull it up anyways? I'm curious what he had to say.
It's lost.
Canada.
there's no way
So
we can
over
find
for
it.
Jamor. Sorry,
Scam.
Jamor.
Jim Moore.
Oh, it's so over.
I can see if I can like find. Nah, I don't
We're
see-
not
I
back
don't
for
see it.
Jamor. Oh no.
It is over.
I can look, but I don't know if I'm gonna.
You gotta do
find it.
Steven did twice.
Jamor said in all caps, sucks to be
Oh,
Canadian.
okay.
MLD, I told you that when I called in.
Pull that one up from Davon, please.
Jamor, my heart goes out to you Canadians.
Canada's a big
Yo,
L, bro. Canada's a big
Davon
draconian L.
Jackson with $100 says, what is the purpose of sexual experiences
Is
with
somebody
people you
like
can't even
tapping
remember?
their foot under the
me,
table?
it's me, I'm
Stop,
sorry.
Stop, guys.
This is what happens when I don't
My
do
fucking
claws.
downstairs neighbor's gonna have an aneurysm. All right, go ahead.
We
What
got
is